Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So as you know, Monday means it's Modern Monday here in Instant Deck Tech land, and we have a super sweet aggressive list to check out today. This is Tamiyo Zoo. So Zoo is an archetype that's been around for a long time. Just a bunch of different creatures of different creature types. Lots of animals, which I think is where the Zoo name comes from. It's kind of like going to the zoo, but this one has a sweet twist with Tamiyo Field Researcher topping off the curve. Comes to us from Rednose47, who took it to a 5-0 finish in a competitive league on Magic Online. So congrats to Rednose on their finish with the deck. A quick reminder before we break down Tamiyo Zoo for Modern. If you enjoy this deck and you want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So the easiest way to look at a deck like Zoo is kind of just work our way up the curve. So we start with the 1-drops, and we have a bunch of different options. First off, we have Noble Hierarch, which is a super powerful card in aggressive list because not only does it help us accelerate into our big plays, our Tamiyos, our Chandras, our more expensive stuff, but it also has Exalted, which means unlike a Birds of Paradise, for example, it's not just fixing our mana, but it's also helping us be aggressive. It makes our creatures attack for more damage. So comes down on turn 1, ramps us, can even attack for 1 if we need it to. Grim Lavamancer, just a 2-of, but a way to deal some direct damage, and this deck definitely wants to have a lot of reach, trying to get in early damage with our creatures, and then if our opponent manages to stop our creature attacks, finish our opponent off directly. And Grim Lavamancer, great addition to that plan. And then Wild Nicodle is just the biggest, baddest 1-drop in Modern. 3 power, 3 toughness for just 1 mana. Our deck is playing a million fetch lands and shock lands, so it's super easy to have it attacking for 3 on turn 2, just almost naturally, thanks to our mana base. And when you have a mountain and a plains, it is just really big and super aggressive. As far as the 2-drops, we got Qasali Pridemage, more exalted triggers, so it technically attacks for 3 if it attacks by itself, or it kind of comes down with haste if we play our Nicodle on turn 1, turn 2. Pridemage lets our Nicodle attack for 4 damage, thanks to the Exalted trigger. Plus, it can just randomly blow up an artifact, so it helps against Affinity, can help against Tron, can help against all different artifacts and enchantments. Really helps against some stuff that's kind of fringe, but would really be good against our deck. For example, Leyline of Sanctity to shut down all of our burn spells, or Ensnaring Bridge to shut down our creatures. And then Tarmogoyf is just super above the curve. It's going to be 3, 4, 5 power very early in the game, so just another huge creature to keep attacking with. And then we have in the 3-drop slot, Geist of St. Traft, which is a lot of power and toughness, and you're probably recognizing a theme. I mean, it's just above the curve attackers all the way through our deck. So Geist of St. Traft can technically come down on turn 2, thanks to Noble Hierarch, and then we have a 2/2 hexproof that's also hitting for 4 in the air when it attacks. Our Exalted triggers work great with it because it technically attacks alone, and the Angel comes later. So if we have some Noble Hierarchs, some Pride Mages out, it can be attacking for 3 or 4 to make sure it gets through our opponent's stuff, and then it just closes out the game super quickly. We can use our removal spells to help force it through, so just a super powerful 3-drop in a aggressive deck. And then topping our curve, we have a couple of planeswalkers. The namesake Tamiyo Field Researcher is a really interesting new addition. The ability to generate card advantage is nice. We can just target our creatures with the +1 ability, draw a couple cards to find more burn spells to help close out the game once things get gummed up. On the other hand, the -2 is an awesome way to tap down blockers that could stop our Geist of St. Trapt, stop our Tarmogoyf, things like that, and get in a huge alpha swing. And then I don't expect that we'll ever ultimate in this deck. I assume this is more like -2 +1/+1, or some combination of that. +1, -2, -2 is how we'll normally use Tamiyo. But if we ever do ultimate, it's a lot of free value. And then Chandra kills something, generates card advantage, damages our opponent. Just another great option on the top end of our curve to help us force through our aggressive creatures. Then we also have one more creature, just a 2-up, but Snapcaster Mage, which is kind of just a way to reuse our spells. So spell-wise, we have a couple of just actual removal spells. Path to Exile, super efficient, good way to get a blocker out of the way. Bant Charm, kind of our catch-all. It can get rid of a creature, can also counter an instant, which is kind of a fringe application, and can destroy an artifact. So I think most of the time we're going to be hitting a creature with it, but it's nice to have another main deck artifact hate spell, just fringe charm value there. The big ones, though, are the burn spells, and the most important one here is Tribal Flames, which in our deck, which is built to support Tribal Flames with basic land types of every kind, and we can do that as soon as turn 3, thanks to all of our shock lands, it's going to be dealing 5 damage to a creature or player for just 2 mana, which is about as good of a rate as you will find on a burn spell in all of Magic's history. So just imagine the Bolt Snap Bolt line that people talk about. With Tribal Flames, Snapcaster Tribal Flames, or Tribal Flames Snapcaster Tribal Flames, that's 10 damage, not even counting the Snapcaster. Of course, we have actual Bolt and Lightning Helix as well for even more burn. Mana base, as I mentioned, a million different fetch lands, and then a huge variety of shock lands. We got the black in there, even though we don't have black cards to support our Tribal Flames, just because we can. And then just a couple of basics. So Blood Moon can be an issue, but we can still cast most of our stuff. We can't cast a Geist or a Tamiyo through a Blood Moon, but we can still cast most of our stuff, even through a Blood Moon with just 2 basics. As far as the sideboard, we get a bunch of removal options. Engineered Explosives can get pretty big since we have so many colors of mana. Natural State and Ancient Grudge for artifacts and enchantments. Grafdigger's Cage for graveyards and collected companies. Timely can gain us a bit of life against burn decks. Unified Will takes advantage of the fact that we have tons of creatures, so it'll often be a hard counter against combo decks that don't really play creatures. Dispel, more protection. Voice of Resurgence comes in against control decks, along with Choke, which can lock down control, also good against Merfolk. And Gaddock Teep can keep our opponent from casting ad nauseums, cryptic commands, and so forth. And that is Tamiyo Zoo for Modern, and that's our instant deck tech for today. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.